Hi, everybody out there. This is ArubaSuturismo.com, and we directly in Aruba at the Fort Zoutman, one of the oldest forts in Aruba. Now we're going to have a visit into the fort, and that's a museum. Our friend Mario Brown will guide us through this whole process. Uh, how you doing, Mario?
Oh, I'm welcome. Thank you for having me here. You welcome you inside our historical fort. Here you walk into the fort. Now you're reaching inside to the historical museum. This is our historical museum right here. And you follow me in. We'll give you part of the history of the island.
Is the museum open every day?
The museum is open from 8 to 4, on 8 to 4 from Monday to Fridays. Here in our historical museum, you get the history of the whole Aruban island. You get by the artifacts, you could talks about the histories. The artifacts talks about the things they used to use in those years gone by. All of these artifacts you're going to see in here are more than 80 to 100 years old stuff that you have. But one of the good times, we had good times in Aruba. Those times was the times when we used to be nice times in. We had the oil refining days, these oil refining the Lago days, nice cap for security measures, but it was good days. Then we have now, right now we are celebrating Carnival starts on the 1st of January, goes on until Tuesday before Mardi Gras. So we have like a whole 6 weeks of Carnival. Then we talks about our typical music. Typical music here consists of all instruments, non-electrical instruments. Here you have a vitrola. Vitrola now is RCA Records in New Jersey. If you take a good look, this Vitrola was made in 1903. Since 1903, we used to use all these instruments here, non-electric. Here we find one of the men that helped wrote our anthem, Motito, very important person here on the island. Okay, then we goes into one of the oldest churches here on the island. This is one of the oldest churches on the island. The chapel, the Alta Vista Chapel, is always open. It's open from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. It's open all the time, 24. It was built in 1751. Then we goes into the second hall. Second hall now gives you mostly things to look at. Things you could have a look at and old artifacts. Very old artifacts in here. Here in this showcase here, I'm going to show you, you're going to see what you use in those days they used to use in the houses, the middle class living. Middle class living, this is what you use. The houses in those days was mud houses, Dolby. They called them Dolby houses, make a structure of trees, twigs, grass, and manure. Those was the mud houses they had in those days. Yeah. After that came the brick houses. Here you could see one of these we call remember in those days the bathrooms was all the way outside. So now here you could see a bathroom that's inside the house. So is movable. This is the soap dishes. You got the thing for the toothbrush, but all of them was made from the same color, same texture. Same color, same texture all the time. That's how it goes. But it was a wonderful time. In the old museum, you could find real old stuff like an ice cream machine. Ice cream machine making ice cream by hand. You used to get ice. This is raw salt. You have to put raw salt with the ice to get the ice cream. Okay. Now here we got a kitchen utensils, things you use in the kitchen. You could see different spoons, different cold pots. You could see very different things. This is what we call the alifat. Alifat, we used to cut the aloe vera. The aloe vera, we cut that once a year. And they drains all the liquid, throw it into this big pot and take it home. And at home they go and they cook it in these big pots. They cook them in these big pots and then they skip it out with these big spoons and then ship it out. They ship it out to America and to Europe to make medicine. In those years gone by, they make medicine, pure medicine they used to make. Here you could see the little shops. Every town had a little small shop you could go buy your stuff in, right? And everything was measured out, weighed out. They weighed by pounds, by grams, by half a pounds. Everything was really measured out in those days. So here you could see how the living was here on the island. Most of the islands, it's almost the same thing. After they get a little smarter, they start using boxes and start doing it much more faster now. This is the donkeys. Donkeys was the mean of transport, so they used to transport all the aloe vera and all the stuff back home from out in the fields. They come back home with them carrying by the donkeys. Here, fishing is a very important part of the island because we are surrounded by water, so that you have a lot of fishing gears here, like nets fishing. But now we can't do no more fishing. Is now more restricted. So now we do only sport fishing. Do sport fishing for the day. You go out fishing and stuff like that.
Mario, it's very interesting this all this lecture you're giving us on the internet here. This is a mochila, as far as I know from my parents. They used to be fishermen too, but also they have all a lot of like. What is this? This is other shoes.
No, yeah, no. Those are branders. We had a lot of goats and a lot of sheep, so everybody had to brand your goat, brand your sheep. Here you could see the sandals they used to wear in those days. There was a real made from tire and cat tire and goat leather. Those are picks you could dig. This is a donkey saddle. Donkeys were the mean of transport, so that's how they used to transport the donkeys. The donkeys used to transport the people in those days. Yeah, gold was found in 1824 on the island, and here you could see a very important part of the gold rocks. We have gold dust, not gold nuggets, but we had gold dust. Here in my hand, I have a piece of gold rock with dust of gold inside. If you take a good look inside of it, you will see the gold dust inside. This is the gold. You could find many of these rocks way back on the north side of the island.
We're going outside now to see something else here. Mario is guiding us to the outside of the museum.
Here we are with the Bombini Festival. Every Tuesday we have here a festival. Goes on from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock. It is all about the culture of Aruba, culture dancing, culture music, people selling handcrafts on those tables. We selling food, typical Arubian food on those stuff. We got a bar, we got music, we got part carnival show. It's a very nice evening for you to come and enjoy it with us here in our fort, in the Bombini Festival. Yeah?
So far, your invitation for the public there to visit Fort Zoutman.
Come all. Come to our Fort Zoutman and our Bombini Festival. You see the tower? You could even get a chance to climb up in the tower and take a look at our tourist site around the museum. And don't forget, our Bombini Festival every Tuesday evening the whole year round is a wonderful time you're going to have.